Sponsored by Canadian Model Railroad.ca and by donations from patrons like you.
Further support provided by the biggest little hobby shop in Winnipeg, Frogs and Diamond.
And now on with the show with your hosts, Peter and Joe.
Well, Peter, what time it is?
It's train time.
Episode 55.
55.
Which is October.
October
Because
still.
we got 2 this month.
Yes.
I guess we're talking about somebody you visit during your trip.
Yes, my trip to the UK with my brother and his wife, we had a chance to go and visit Terry Wolfe's G-scale layout in his yard. He had an open house the weekend that we were leaving for the UK. Terry is a subscriber to our show, and he works out at the Alberta Railway Museum with my brother.
So he's in Alberta, not in UK.
No, he's in Alberta, Fort Saskatchewan, which is just next door to Edmonton.
Okay, so we have a segment on that.
Yep.
And our segment number 2. We had the visit of Ivan that came to visit the layout of the CMR.
Yep.
And at the same time, we give you an update of what the CMR has right now.
Yes.
You know, all the work that we've done during the summer.
Yep.
And with comments from Ivan. So you will see that a lot of things happen, and some more will as the end of the years come. So we should have some more done.
Yep.
So anyway, folks, enjoy the show.
Yes.
First segment with the G-scale, and the second segment with the CMR, and in between the photo of the month.
Enjoy.
We are currently at Terry Wolfe's G-scale layout in Fort Saskatchewan near Edmonton, and we'll just do a little scan around his backyard and try and get some footage of his actual G-scale layout here. It's pretty amazing. We'll probably have some shots, but this is Terry's backyard with his G-scale layout, and we're just about to get some stuff running here by the looks of it. So I'm just doing a little scan around the yard so that you can get an idea of what his G-scale is. He's also got, it's an open house today, and he's got some of his friends bringing some of their own G-scale, so it won't be just Terry's rolling stock. This is one of Terry's trains. Inside his storage area, he can stage two 16-foot trains and then bring them out onto the rail circuit. So this one also is one of Terry's trains.
I met a fellow by the name of Harvey Bradley, and in the videos you'll see his GMD1 NER Northern Alberta Railroad.
Right.
He's built 3 GMD1 locomotives from scratch, plus a caboose, and you'll see those in the video. And then he's also modified the boxcars that are running with it. So very interesting chat with him. Also, you'll see a brief shot of Terry's RDC. And in the course of the pictures, his wife Judy is talking to my brother. I think they were discussing the landscaping in the yard, but anyways. And the other thing, he had his snowplow out, and so he said he can run his G-scale almost all year round, except when it really gets cold. And his snowplow will actually handle up to 6 inches of snow clearing on the track. So,
Wow.
So that was kind of interesting. Then, of course, you look at the back of his house, and underneath his deck, he has storage, and you see the storage. And he can stage up to 2 trains, 16 feet long, under this before he brings them out onto the main line. Plus, there's all the storage for all his rolling stock and everything.
Wow.
And it's all under his deck. So,
Wow.
yeah.
You don't see that often.
No, it was really enjoyable. I don't know how long we spent there, but he was having an open house, and there was people dropping in and out. There were some young kids there that were having a blast. But his G-scale takes up his whole backyard, so it's very well done.
Well, that G-scale layout is really something.
Yes.
It's a good video. You can see that people can be interested in the hobby and multi-scales.
Yes.
So,
I was trying to get some shots of the passenger train because a couple of the cars, the interiors are all done with like the diner is all done with the table set, and people are. It didn't really come out that well in the photograph, but it was really something.
you know, we can achieve just so much,
Oh, yeah,
right?
yeah.
But just the fact to see that some people are doing that in the hobby, it's great, you know, so. Well, now let's go see the photo of the man. Let's talk about what happened at the CMR during the summer.
CMR, yes. And we also have, since Ivan is here, it's been a little while since you've seen it. So there's some changes that have been made upstairs. Joe not only has been doing buildings, he's now switched to being a lumberjack and planting trees.
My new name is Paul Bunyan.
Paul Bunyan. And of course, I continue to work on scenery along the Fraser and the trackside. So,
Matter of fact, the Fraser River right now, it looks darn good.
yes, yeah, yeah.
We'll be ready pretty soon to put the fish in.
We're now switching sides on the peninsula.
Yep.
One side is all planted with trees and stuff, and now you're going to the Fraser River side, and I'm going to the Aiken Lake side.
That is done, as far as the beds and the scenery and the canopies up with the trees and so on, which are planted one by one.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
And made from golden rods
Yeah.
and reliefs and so on. then we'll start to do those mini scenes all over the place.
Within,
Yeah. So, matter of fact, we're talking and we're rolling in videos of what's happening up there and so on. And for any viewers that have checked previous episode, they can probably see the whole difference of what it was to what it is now. You know?
It was a big difference.
Yes.
I noticed a lot of scenery, a lot of scenes in the mountain area, for sure. Complete change from last time. So kudos to you guys. You really made some progress.
Well, what we really look at is to try to have a realistic overview of what Canada is all about. You know, that's why that layout goes from the East Coast to the West Coast. But it's like if you travel the country by car, right? It takes you times. So for us, it's the same thing. It takes us time to go across the country. You know, we still have Alberta, Saskatchewan. A lot of work to still do in Manitoba and some part of Ontario.
You've done a lot of buildings for Winnipeg.
Yeah. Matter of fact, the groundwork of Portage and Maine is done. Is there. It's far from being finished, right?
Yes.
That won't probably be touched till 2025, maybe middle 2025. But I figured that by the time we get to 2026, the only thing that would be left to do on that layout is to add details.
I was impressed, being from Manitoba originally, I was impressed with Portage and Maine and all that I remember of the Nutty Club plant, the underpass under the CN main line and Union Station.
Well, matter of fact,
captured
Nutty
it.
Club now has ceased operations.
Yes.
So that building that was a landmark in Winnipeg now became an historical landmark in Winnipeg.
And may disappear.
And may disappear, but won't disappear in the layout because it's
Preserved
there.
under layout,
It's been
yes.
preserved there, you know.
Wonderful.
So, there's a lot of plans really that are on the go in regard to that layout. Now, we haven't shown a heck of a lot of what we've been doing there, right? Because many other shows have shown how to do this and how to do that and so on. It's kind of redundant at some point. But when you look at the size, the sheer size of the layout, which is 24 by 34, with a peninsula that is pretty near 20 feet, and another one that is 17 feet, where you end up, you got the Rocky Mountains is 55 feet from start to finish, and so on. It doesn't grow overnight.
For sure.
You know? I think what really happened, Ivan, in the layout upstairs is we have developed skills as we were doing it.
And it shows. I can see buildings, I can see scenes, little bits of detail that I've seen in the hobby supplier magazines and that. And they've come to life on your
That's the point, you know?
layout. Yes.
And we're always too looking at our scenes being good for doing videos.
Oh, yeah.
The cinematography of it. We're always looking at, different, how is it going to look at different angles and stuff.
Because when we do scenery, Peter, what happens is we're taking pictures. And there's a lot of time when you're doing sceneries or even a building whatsoever. Your eyes see it the way it is, yes, but when you take a picture, that's when you see where some other things are needed or you see the defect, you know? And if you go and you correct those defects and so on and add on what should be add on, the next time you will take a picture out of it, then you start to wonder, is it a real picture from somewhere or is it the layout?
but I compliment you guys on what you've got accomplished so far. That beautiful scene of the village with grandma on the back porch waving at the crowd down the street, and then in behind the building by the church, they're burying somebody at a funeral service, and all of this stuff, this dynamic is going on in this one little scene.
Well, you see, from one scene to another, and to the layout, the principle is a story on each place. You know, at one point through the www.canadianmodelrailroad.ca, which is the website, all that story would be there, with all the different scenes and so on. Which, right now, if you go to that website, you got a lot of material in there, and it will take you probably an hour and a half to 2 hours to go through the whole website. But by the time the website is redone according to what we're doing now, it will take you 3 to 4 hours to go through. You know,
Yes.
because of all the story.
Yeah.
And that website technically is, we won't be there forever, you know, but that would be our legacy to the layout, you know, of the CMR. And what you can, now, Peter, how many times did we say to the viewer, we're just two ordinary guys?
Just two ordinary guys doing model trains.
Model trains with ordinary material that you find in the backyards or you find in the ditch or whatsoever, and trying to build something. Now, if two guys like us, two old farts, can do it, imagine a youngster with a lot of imagination of what he can do with a hobby.
Yeah. World's the limit.
And I think that, Ivan, is the message that it's train time. Try to convey to viewer that don't be scared, don't be shy to do something. Just do it.
Try it.
If you don't like it, you can always undo it and redo it. Same thing when you built your engine, the 911, well, it's time that you were a little discouraged and then you were re-encouraged and so on. And first thing you know, you achieve something.
Yes, very much so.
That's part of the hobby.
And now you've gone from diesel to propane.
Well, yes, and I'm getting older, so that was a transition where I needed to find more time and keep myself alert, and propane was much more forgiving.
Oh yeah. But you see, on your next visit at the CMR, you will see another big change.
Yes.
You know, I'm not looking forward to have to paint all those fish, you know, to go on the riverbed, because it's hundreds of them, you know, the salmon and the bottom feeders and all of that, and then that they have the pickerels and the jacks and so on, fish for the Aiken Lakes and so on. Yeah, the Red River would be red, but the Schreiber River there, then you will have some fishing in there, but not as intense as the rest, right? As far as when we look at Jean Cove and so on, where's the sea, there's no fish in there really that will go in there. It's more the scene at that point of the fishermen going to fish. So,
In your mountains, you already have a fish ladder on the Fraser.
yes.
So,
Hell's Gates,
yes.
yeah, it's there.
We've done our
More
version of
dynamic.
Hell's Gate.
We also bring the history of the building of the railroad in Canada, because as you probably noticed when you were up there, we got that cemetery for the Chinese people that died building the railroad.
Yes, that was a nice touch.
You know, that is there.
Yes.
And for whatever reason, Peter and I were pretty much so anal about commemoratives. You know, you got to have the commemorative monument there, you know, for when November comes, realizing that the soldier did what they did in Canada for us, and so on. A lot of little things like this that we try to represent. We also represent a lot of families, you know, a lot of friends via the model railroad. Unfortunately, it's not open to the general public. it would be open to the general public via the website.
And they can enjoy it there.
Well, yeah, or
Yes.
by invitation.
Or by invitation, yes, you know.
But it's nice to have that social fabric of Canada represented all in one spot.
Yep.
You know, different venues or different viewpoints of our nation. So,
Well, matter of fact, it goes further than that even. When you look at the way that, for example, Montreal is done, you know, with the Montreal and the West Mountain, you got different type of mountain. You go into Quebec and then Saint Louis, Ontario, where you got the Sudbury with the mining of the nickels in there, and the mountains are different. And the mountain you got in the coal area of the New Brunswick and so on. Mountain's still different. And the color, the arrangement of the mountain all across the layout are different. They represent very much so what the ecology of Canada is all about, you know. And I think that is the hardest part to do on a layout like this. Not just the fact that it's huge, but is to create the difference between the area that you model. You know? Because if you calculate, you've got 10 provinces.
yes, and you've managed to capture snapshots of each province.
Except Newfoundland. You know, Newfoundland is not there, but
It's kind of off the layout.
yeah, but we got 9 provinces represented into the layout. We don't have the Yukon and Northwest Territories.
Unfortunately.
We don't have the space. But yes, some of the things have been change of place. Well, you got to use artistic license when you kind of do those things, and you have to use compression. So, but the major element of all those provinces get represented.
Yes, you captured those little vignettes across the country.
Well, we got a pretty good view of what happened on the CMR. It has progressed.
Oh yeah, we've made a lot of progress.
Right now, we're kind of in a lull in regarding of making trees because it's pretty hard to find hairspray.
Yeah, I don't know what's up with that. But
When we get reloaded on that, we can finish the Rockies.
yeah,
And then, well, that would be Winnipeg. That would be being worked quite intensively.
Winnipeg will be the next biggie.
Yep. Like anything, during the summer, it's been an on and off as far as doing work. You had your trip in the UKs. I had a trip down east and so on. And some other factors are taking place. So got to be patient with us. But one way or another, things happening. We encourage you guys to visit the Frog and Diamonds, the hobby shop there.
Yes.
I saw them at the Mega Train show. This year's we didn't make any special video for the Mega Train.
I was away.
Yeah, you were away. And the fact is, doing the show with the Mega Train about every 2 years is probably good, because if not, it's pretty much still the same from one time to another.
Yeah.
So this year's the show was, I believe, some well attended.
Yeah.
It had a lot of vendors and had quite a few layout who were there. I haven't been there for a very long period of time. I spent a couple hours on the Saturday and went and see what's going on.
Yeah.
But that was it. So
And Tony at the Frog and Diamond now has his club established.
yeah, now it's a club in the basement of the Frog and Diamond. If you go to the store, he's got application forms
Yep.
for the club. It's $50 per year for the membership at the club.
Yep.
We will have more than likely before the end of the year a view of the club. We know that for the December episode will be in locations at the Frog
At the
and
Frog and
Diamond.
Diamond, yeah.
So you probably would be looking forward to that show.
Yep.
November show would be all about the trains in the UK.
Yep.
So you have brought some very beautiful footage out
I
of
brought
there.
some, had a nice visit to a huge museum there.
Yep. So that is coming up in November. So till then, folks, have great modelings. You know, now we're in the falls. We're all starting back and so on. So have fun. Keep on building.
Check out the Frog and Diamond.
Yep. And be ready for your Christmas list.
Yes.